Popular pastor Bishop David Oyedepo of the Living Faith Ministries, also known as Winners Chapel, has come under fire for his actions after his wife, Faith Oyedepo, posted a testimony on her Twitter page. Feminists and non-feminists alike had a field day on the post, responding to defend the bishop's action, likewise to fault his actions. The post, which started the fire, reads, "I remember when I was pregnant with our first son. One day I saw blood flowing from me, and when my husband returned home, I told him that I had a miscarriage. Boldly and without any hesitation, he said, 'You can't have a miscarriage,' and then asked to be served his meal. That statement activated the spirit of faith, and the pregnancy was sustained. You need to accelerate your operation of the spirit of faith daily, and then you will find the miraculous a daily occurrence for you." Reactions started pouring in, even as some Twitter users had already started predicting that the tweets would be a cause of conflict. At T_classicm1 wrote, "This sounds like you're trying to give testimony and how faith works. But on the other hand, ma, you just served a well-prepared Elemimeje meal for feminist Twitter throughout this week. It's going to be a long day." Berating the pastor for his actions and the consequences it may have on the couple's followers, Ifeade_LU wrote, "Your husband had no sympathy whatsoever for you as his wife, but it's better to keep certain things private, ma. If someone's husband were to see what you're sharing, they might tell their own wife the same thing and face the tragic consequence of losing their unborn child. Be mindful of what you choose to share on the internet." Buttressing his points, at Felicity19 responded, "Also, for those at the back, if you're pregnant and you suddenly bleed, please don't wait for your prayer plug to finish before getting yourself to the hospital for obstetric scan and medical care. You can be praying while going to the hospital. Don't play yourself." Agreeing to the bishop's stance, at Black Billionaire wrote, "Christianity, faith and doings around it isn't for everyone. That's why they are called miracle, the undoable, unimaginable and unthinkable. You really shouldn't be able to explain the doings of God." Bishop that made that statement hasn't been to the clinic in 30+ years. In partial understanding, at one Moji aired his misgivings, saying, "I think I understand the 'you can't have a miscarriage,' but not the 'then asked to be served his meal.' But then again, I understand how to mind my business." Supporting the bishop's actions and educating fellow Twips, at Abjay Noel wrote, "I believe Bishop Oyedepo was so used to trusting God for miracles, and his faith exceeded the mountains that he couldn't believe his wife would have a miscarriage. If you've listened to his sermons, you'll know he can respond like this to problems. It's a faith response for him." Wrapping it up with an example from the Bible, at Ayemojuba wrote, "Oyedepo, this is faith-provoked action. It's not a misuse or abuse." Simon's mother-in-law was very sick. She had a high fever. They asked Jesus to help. He stood close to her, rebuked the fever, and it left her. And immediately she arose and began serving them. Luke chapter 4, verse 38 to 40.